Alright, I'm going to kind of break the rules today and do a request that came in just the other day. Most of the time I try to go back to the original list that I have of all the requests and pick the oldest ones, but some of them are just borderline impossible. You know, there are a few that you could probably play for 20, 30 hours and never get them. But here it is on screen now, so vulture, skunk, seagull with durian, snake, and then beluga with a slug inside it. And the reason I decided to do this now is the fact that the update's been out for a while, and I don't think I've used Durian at all in any videos. So it seems like a good opportunity to actually try and do that. And who doesn't like seagull? I mean, a very high percentage of requests that come in have either seagull or emu in them. And I did an emu video just the other day, so it's seagull's turn. And there we get it on the level up. I also happened to get the level 2 pangolin from the stoat. Probably should have saved the stoat cell for next turn. I might have done that by accident there. And yeah, you can see I'm potentially greeding for a level 3 pangolin, but I don't think that's going to happen. Really want to find a puppy so that we can get the pangolin pilled as soon as possible. And I'll just take the apple on the seagull. I think seagull at tier 4, it's been a while since it was moved to tier 4 now. It's still perfectly fine. It has all the same problems that it had before, where it constantly gets weakness or gets sniped and you end up missing out on the ability, or there's so many good buy-sell pets in the game at this point that you can easily end up in situations where you need to buy-sell for stats, you know, blue-ringed octopus, zebra, or whatever, and then the seagull wastes its ability on the pet that was bought-sold. But overall it is still pretty decent, and I think its biggest strength is when you use it in the shop. Just getting equipment for free is pretty good on its own. So generally I was using it to, you know, you give it durian, or maybe you give it garlic earlier, and then spread the perk around to other pets as you buy them. Just saves a bit of gold. So here we get the puppy, so I can then pill the pangolin onto the seagull, which I can't remember if I do it straight away or not. Maybe we'll just take the avocado here, or maybe I'll roll. Okay, I could have rolled there. I'm looking for skunk and seagull on tier 4, so it would have been perfectly fine to roll and try and find them, I think. Here I kind of forgot that the hatching chick was going to get the buff from the pangolin. I probably should have repositioned there, and probably could have won that game if I'd given everything to the seagull. But now we have to pill the pangolin because the toy's about to run out. I think I wanted to put it onto something else, probably vulture, but it's pretty unlikely that we're going to find it in time, so I just pill it onto the seagull. And then I decide to use the new anteater to get some gold back, so we pill that and get 2 level 3 ants we can sell, and we'll just keep statting up the seagull. Better that it has a very high health, so the chances of losing the equipment as a result of the seagull actually just getting one shot by a sniper is much lower. I mean, swordfish does exist, but of all the snipers it may be the least common. Although, to be honest, there are quite a few people at the moment doing swordfish plus tiger and then something else in front of the swordfish, which is extremely annoying. But here we get the beluga in the shop. There's also another seagull and eagle, so we'll take the lasagna onto the beluga. We really need to have some kind of summon in there in order to get the benefit of the seagull ability in the battle. So eagle will have to do. And maybe I should move the blobfish back here. It doesn't really do anything. And you can see yet again, you know, the seagull loses its equipment as a result of weakness. It's just, once you've played like 10, 20 games of this in a row, it becomes extremely frustrating, and it's just so common to happen. Now here we lose the seagull triggers. I could buy double chocolate onto it, but I think it's more important to get the snake in now. We really need snake to have any realistic chance, especially since we're not going to be doing a whole lot of scaling. So eagle comes out, and yeah, we don't get the Durian onto the summons because the seagull ability is already gone. And then this is brutal. Reindeer out of the eagle, and turns a win into a loss. So level 2 snake, and now we're looking for, what are we missing still? Skunk. We need to find a slug and also vulture. And you can see now I gave up on having the blobfish at the front. It's just free triggers for those pets like Octo and opposing snake. A scaling team, perfect, and we actually double hit I think that was a double hit onto the Sabertooth to remove it with no summons, which was very nice. And yeah, it's a narrow win in the end. I wonder if we could have lost that if we didn't double hit the Saber. I think I don't need to go for level 3 snake, especially since we need multiple units that are going to be on base stats when we buy them. So I would like to be able to buy some food to stat them up, probably mushroom for the vulture. This team is actually all tier 4 and above, so we can buy pretzel as well. And again, as a result of the buy selling, stuff like crow, it's just so essential as well that it really interferes with the seagull ability quite a bit. But this team, I really like this, level 3 Robin, but yeah, Robin just isn't very good, and so it gets decimated by the snake team. And now we can level 3 the seagull. I can't remember, yeah, there's not really anything I can do here other than buy another snake and get Durian for free onto it. And because we only have an eagle inside the Beluga, it doesn't matter that the seagull only has 2 triggers for the battle because there's only going to be 2 summons. I guess unless we got something specific from the eagle, I can't remember exactly what was in the pack in terms of other tier 6s, but I've got a funny feeling that Orca was not in there. Maybe Tapir was actually, so in theory we could get Tapir from the eagle, but not going to happen this time. And the dog comes in, but it's not actually going to make any difference. I don't think the Durian effects, it's all just for show there. We would have won regardless. So we can actually get level 3 snake. Do I take it? Yes, I do. But I'm really cutting it fine now because there's no vulture yet, and we don't have a slug either. I think the original request specified level 3 skunk as well, but honestly, I don't know if it's necessary. I mean, I guess it obviously increases your chances of winning, but the snake is just doing so much damage as long as the positions don't get moved that it tends not to matter too much if you don't have the level 3. And you can see here, I mean, the snake only does something like 3 snipes there, and it doesn't make any difference. It's still doing so much damage. And I freeze the mushroom here just in case I find the vulture. The Durian that I'm freezing there is for if I find the slug, so I can just rebuy Durian onto the Beluga. And for a second there I had the full team of Durian, but then I replaced it with the mushroom. And it's opposing snake, but the snake is in 3rd. I see quite a lot of people doing that, putting snake, 3rd or 4th. And if they'd had the snake further up there, they could have been sort of counter-sniping a lot of my units, but as it stands, we end up winning without even finding the slug, which was a little bit unfortunate because I do like to match the original request as closely as I can, but in that particular situation it ended up not mattering. But here are some other runs, and you can see here I used the pretzel to get the tapir into the Beluga. I think it was a non-summon pet inside there. And it's opposing triple Durian team with the bison. We do have level 3 skunk this time, so their biggest unit just instantly dies. But the other team doesn't really have anything that's taking advantage of the fact that the stats are being lowered by the Durian in the first place. So, I mean, they had the dolphin snipes at the beginning, but Durian goes after the dolphin, so Ended up being a pretty easy win there in the sort of pseudo mirror match. Someone else did request Panther with Durian, but I think it'll be a while before I do another one of these videos. And here we actually get, yeah, I could have put the slug inside the beluga. Maybe there's a slug in there already. But this one I wanted to show because I get matched up with Flame. The skunk reduces the falcon to 1 HP, and then the stego refills its stats to the max, which is, I don't know if that was all intentional design on Flame's part, but extremely irritating, and in future I would appreciate it if he just put out really bad teams so that I can win every time. Thank you, Flame. I'll thank you in advance there. And then here is Rev GT in a different run, and this is the team that he was talking about running over and over again, the Elephant Seal plus the level 3 Weasel with 1-up and Vulture at the back. But he doesn't have the full setup here, and yeah, unfortunately the Vulture sniped exactly the right unit there, I think. And despite the Cherry summoning a 2/2 Retriever, we actually lose by 1 HP. So yeah, unfortunate there. And then the same run later on, we're now on 8 trophies, turn 18, and I'm finally buying the Vulture. And but we have been scaled up pretty heavily by the Elephant Seal here. And then it's a full 50-50 shop team with all tier 6s, including Leopard and Tiger. But the Vulture comes back with the 1-up. The Seagull actually ends up giving Durian to the Vulture instead of the Slug, which is a little bit unfortunate and probably one of the downsides of the 1-up. But realistically, we need the Vulture in this team. And in the end, it's a loss by a single tier 1 spawn. So not exactly the build that was requested, but hopefully that was entertaining enough anyway.